At the beginning of the story, we see a prisoner named Frank, who is imprisoned in a very dangerous jail. The warden here hates him a lot. He was put into a gas chamber simply for arguing with the warden. This was a special cabin inside which a poisonous gas was kept, so that the person's breathing stops. Frank was kept in this chamber for a long time, and he was feeling a lot of pain inside too. The guard even tried to turn off the gas, but the warden said, "Let it go." Frank was on the verge of dying. Only then did the warden have the gas turned off. Frank's condition worsened. But why is this warden so irritated with Frank? To understand this, we need to go back a little in the story. Many years ago, Frank was a car mechanic who was living his life comfortably. He also has a girlfriend, and both of them love each other very much. One day she came to meet Frank, and both of them shared some beautiful moments together. After a few days, Frank went to play football with some children. Everyone was enjoying a lot. There was a smile on everyone's face. But this happiness was only for a short while. After this game, his girlfriend had to drop him at a place. And this place was none other than a prison. Actually, Frank was a criminal who was sent to jail, but not in any big or dangerous case. He was kept in a small jail, a prison where there were no dangerous criminals. All the people in that jail were very cheerful and friendly. And Frank was everyone's favorite there. He never broke any rules. And that is why the police beat him up. One day, I was given permission to go home. Actually, he had a guru who taught him to play American football since childhood. Frank respected him very much. One day, suddenly some people attacked him. Frank was unable to control himself, and he beat those goons to death. And he beat them so badly that the court sent him to jail as punishment. And when his guru was about to die, Frank made a request to the jail warden that he wants to meet his guru one last time. That too, just for 1 hour. But the warden clearly denies it. Because he wanted to go to his master's place at any cost, Frank escaped from prison. He was with his guru in his last moments. And after that, he himself came before the police and surrendered. But the security of the jail from where he escaped was very tight. That till date, no one had been able to escape from there. But everything changed that night. Frank was in his cell when some people came there, who were security guards of another jail. Without any warning, they forcibly took Frank to another jail. Frank was completely confused and said that I was not told about any transfer. But the guards just said that this is our way of working. We don't take you to jail after informing you. And now the prison where Frank was kept was completely locked down. This was a very high security jail. The criminals here were also not ordinary. Only murderers, psychos, and hardcore criminals lived here. And the most shocking thing was that the warden of the prison was the same one from whose first prison Frank had escaped. And what happened was that after Frank escaped, that warden's respect was ruined. He was also demoted from his position. Along with this, the people working with him also started making fun of him. So now he wanted to take revenge from Frank. As soon as he reached the jail, an officer explained all the rules to Frank. If any rule is broken, a very severe punishment will be given. A few days later, Frank was brought before Warden. Warden started saying that you escaped from jail and the media made you a hero. But my career was ruined. There was a time when I was among the top guards of the country. Now people laugh at me behind my back. Frank answered him calmly. The mistake was also yours. I requested you to let me go for an hour. You said no, so I ran away. But Vadan was not affected by what he said. For him, it was just an opportunity for revenge. Now Frank was given his first punishment for speaking out. Now the story reached the same point from where it started. He was tortured by putting him in a gas chamber. There was a very dangerous prisoner in this jail whose name was Chink. Everybody was afraid of him because he was a special man of the ward. Warden also told him that Frank has to be taught a lesson. This guy is getting out in 2 months, so beat him half to death by then. One day, when Frank was in the yard outside his cell, Chink and his gang surrounded Frank. Chink was also holding a sharp ice pick, which was enough to kill someone with a single strike. But just as he was about to attack, a security officer showed up. Another prisoner named Dallas approached him. Dallas said to Frank, "The prison you escaped from, I was also a prisoner there. You're truly a genius, brother. Look, the warden won't let you live anyway. Let's both escape from here," but Frank refused because he didn't have the courage to escape. His sentence would be over in 2 months anyway, but still. Dallas had a feeling that maybe tomorrow someone... So he said, "I can get you a job as a mechanic in the garage." Frank immediately agreed to this. He took Frank to the garage, but the head mechanic there refused to give Frank the job because he wanted a worker who had work experience so he wouldn't have to teach everything. Now Dallas told Frank his plan, that he was thinking of escaping through an upward-going pipe. Frank explained to him that the temperature inside that pipe is too high. He wouldn't survive. And hearing this, Dallas's face fell. The next day, a new prisoner arrived in the mess hall. His name was B. Eno. B. Eno was a bit naive and everyone used to bother him. Frank helped him and went to sit with him. B. Eno clearly stated that he didn't want to join any gang. They were still talking, when suddenly a prisoner killed someone else with that same ice-breaking weapon. B. Eno got very scared seeing this. Frank told him that if he didn't choose a group, then if not today, tomorrow, this would happen to him. After which, B. Eno joined Frank and Dallas's group. The next day, Chink challenged Frank to a rugby match, and Frank agreed to it. And then a dangerous match began, in which Chink and his people were cheating, and repeatedly attacked Frank forcefully under the guise of the game. But Frank was a formidable player, and he knew beforehand that they would try something fishy. He was giving a befitting reply to each of their attacks. The head mechanic was also watching this match, when he had refused to give Frank work in the garage. When he saw Frank playing, he was thoroughly impressed. He was impressed by Frank's hard work and courage. Now he himself joined the match and started thrashing everyone. With his support, Frank's team won the match. After the match, he told Frank that he could start working in the garage from tomorrow. The next day, Frank went to the garage where the head mechanic showed him around the entire place. There was a Mustang car parked there, an old, broken-down vehicle. The mechanic said this was his favorite car, but now its engine is completely dead. It will never run again. To which Frank asked if he could try to fix it once. The mechanic smiled and said, "If you fix this car, I will do whatever you ask." Frank started working immediately. He read many books and opened up the engine. He worked on this car with full dedication, and within a few days, the Mustang's engine started running again. He also painted the car, and it looked brand new. Now Frank was about to sit in the car and drive it. B. Eno also sat in this car with Frank. B. Eno said he didn't know how to drive, after which Frank also taught him driving. Then B. Eno got emotional and asked if he would ever be able to drive this car again, to which Frank said just one word: no. As soon as he heard this, he forcibly took the Mustang to the grounds, where he made the car take 2 or 3 laps. Hearing the commotion in the grounds, the warden went there, and he saw everything. He understood well that B. Eno had done all this, but he told B. Eno to leave, because this was the best opportunity for him to take revenge on Frank. He gave Chink a baseball bat and said to smash this car to pieces. Without wasting any time, Chink destroyed that Mustang car right in front of Frank. There were tears in Frank's eyes. Finally, all his hard work of so many days, his dream, everything was destroyed in seconds. And as punishment, Frank was thrown into a dark room. And that's not all. To torture him, bright lights would be shown on him several times a day, which wouldn't even let him sleep. Whenever he started to feel sleepy, he was asked to look at the camera and state his name. Frank endured everything and stayed in that same cell for many days. His mental stability was now starting to deteriorate.